Our film is called The Enduring.
Okay. The treatment for our film is that it's a psychological thriller with sort of like post-apocalypse elements. In the beginning, the main protagonist is seemingly the last person on Earth, and the beginning just introduces his background and goes into detail about his life before the apocalypse. In the middle of the film, we learn that the protagonist meets a little girl called Lucy. He feels the need to protect Lucy. She's an orphan, and she's also apparently one of the last people left on Earth. And then at the end of the film, we learn that he thinks he's in like living after an apocalypse, but he's not. It's actually part of a social experiment from the government, and they're trying to see how he would react after an apocalypse. And Lucy herself is actually an actress put into the film to sort of influence him and sort of control how he behaves, and also makes him a bit more freaked out. So yeah, that's
Yeah, the opening title sequence would be sort of. It is completely all non-linear. It's not slightly conceptual, but it isn't like all of it. But yeah, it's sort of broken apart in the shots how it's done. So it'd be shot of him standing, next shot is sprinting, and you just don't know why this is happening. But there'll be lots of sort of overhead shots because it make him feel sort of like he's being watched, like where it's sort of above him, which would be a bit harder to shoot. But so it's like there's people watching him, and there might be, if there is an overhead shot, then there'll be loads of sort of point of views. If that makes sense. Like, then it looks like he's always being watched, and he sort of feels that same way as well. But with the overhead shots, then they can look with the blue tin, or like CCTV sort of thing. We went with blue rather than red because blue is more sort of. Like if it was a red tin, it would look more sort of like sinister. We didn't really want it to be sinister, we wanted it to be more sort of. So they were just watching him rather than wanting to kill him, and they were watching him first. They were just sort of having a gander at what he's doing, sort of thing. Yeah, that's the first bit. But yeah, it would be a montage of shots throughout the whole thing. It will be ridiculously fast-paced, so lots and lots and lots of cuts, just from shot to shot. So that'll sort of give it, like he doesn't have a lot of time type thing, like he's really afraid because he doesn't really know what's going on, and he's not really sure what to do or anything, so that's why it's going to be really, really fast-paced shots, and editing just to make it convey that sort of feeling as well.
Okay, for the props, we'll have baseball bats, fake blood on like the infected actors. We'll have weapons, so it will be like a thriller, guns, things like that.
The costumes were sort of being normal clothes but really dishevelled and dirty because obviously if you're the supposed last person on Earth, you're not going to be very clean or well put together. They'll be quite dark colours, so like greens and greys, just to sort of connote the mood of the film. That it's probably quite depressing and not a very nice situation to be in. The costumes will remain the same like in every shot because it's all based in like one frame of time.
Yeah, the makeup will sort of be the same as the costume, sort of dirty, tall type thing, and you know, just be the same as the costume basically. So it'd be greys and stuff like that. Wouldn't look particularly clean. He's apparently the only one on that. Location we decided to film is by the Withdean Stadium. It's a big forest woods at the back, and that is the Google Street View of it. There's a little path that runs up the back of it. And that's where we're filming, partly because the road there, barely anyone drives around there, so it's really, really quiet. And the woods are really, really dense, so it sort of gives off that he's in the middle of some place where he doesn't know. He's meant to be not knowing where he is. That sort of conveys that as well.
We're going to be filming during the day, so it's sort of light, but we're going to put blue tints, and we've got inspiration from Brick, a sort of like gloomy, depressing sort of theme. It sort of matches the colour scheme of the clothes and sort of like the dirty effect. And also we wanted to make it look a bit like he's living on a camera set, because unknown to him, but we all know that he's going to be filmed, so we can sort of add blue tint to make it look more like a camera set.
Okay, our main character is in his mid-20s, young and athletic. He's seemingly the last person on Earth, but he's a guinea pig of the social experiment. He's male, an ordinary background upbringing, which conveys to the thriller genre. He's typically a survivor character, randomly placed in an abnormal situation and rises to the challenge. Character 2 is a child that he finds midway through the film. The child is an orphan, so has no family. The child is an actress placed into an experiment to influence or control the character.
That's the end.
Okay, well done. So what do we like about this idea for a thriller film?
I oppose the apocalyptic thing. It's a cool idea.
Yeah, why mix that into the thriller genre?
Because most other people were doing crime thrillers, which we didn't really want to do.
So you're making a bit more of a hybrid.
Yes.
Okay. Did you have any more questions back there about the genre or the mix?
Where did you? Sorry.
First.
Oh well. Where did you get the idea for this?
Mainly, I Am Legend at the beginning, and then we sort of changed it into the Book of Eli, if you've seen that, which is not. It doesn't have infected or anything like that, as we took out them. So it's more just sort of post-apocalyptic, and so that's the setting.
We changed it into a thriller.
Yeah, by sort of adding that Big Brother style surveillance. I'm wondering how you're going to achieve that effect. You mentioned CCTV effect maybe in post-production, but what could you be doing in the opening title sequence to hint or give us that clue that he is not alone?
Basically, quite a few of the shots in the opening title sequence will either be the ones off from cameras, like so it looks like there's a camera sort of be like mounted on a tree, or there'll be sort of ones where it would be a point of view shot, but you wouldn't know whose the point of view is, so it'd be him standing over in the distance, and then the camera pokes from behind a tree, he turns around and it pokes back behind, so it's sort of someone's watching him, but you don't know who it is.
Have you thought of things such as voiceover from people behind the camera? Maybe like the cameraman saying he's heading in your direction, or
We can speak about it a bit.
yeah, or even graphics on screen
Yeah,
that
we're
might.
thinking about having a sort of graphic saying subject, blah blah blah, time, date, whatever.
Yeah. Are you going to have any dialogue from within the scene?
He's going to be running around shouting Lucy.
Okay. And are we going to see her?
No.
We're not going to see her.
Because she's an actor, she's an actor for the government who's going in to sort of monitor him in a way, and then they take her out and stuff, so as soon as she leaves, and he's sort of like, oh, where the hell's she's gone? Doesn't really know where she's gone.
So within your montage, we're not going to see any flashes of her at all. Okay, well, something might intrigue or draw us in, but if you're not going to add it, that's fine. Other locations, I'm just wondering, you've got sort of a wooded location, but being sort of in surveillance, are you considering any urban sort of like deserted street scenes or?
Well, I think about it, but it's just most of the time it's just really busy, so we just can just look for ages trying to find a good street. But
You could just do, well, somewhere like Northern Dundee, they're numbers over there.
Yeah, so maybe make that a consideration for this weekend for your recce. Try and locate, maybe talk to some other groups that have found some places that are fairly quiet during the day, because it might be good to show a bit like 28 Days Later when he's walking through that deserted, might help to emphasise that he is the only person left in Brighton. I would recommend that you try and scout out a few more, at least one more location, maybe a bit more urban. Any other feedback or suggestions or questions? Thank you very much. Well done.